Alright, here we're going to take a look at two equally odd Brace Blade Lakewoods. Now the one on the left is a little bit less weird than this one, but I figured we'd do a video on the two of them. Do a little bit of a comparison. Now we'll probably start off with the older one because it's an interesting piece. I mean, this is too, but we'll look at this one after this one, because I already got this one plugged in. We'll put that down there. Now both these fans are from Lakewood's earlier period with the Lakewood brace blades. This one's the earliest of the two. This one's from '97, which from what I understand was the first year of the Lakewood brace bladed fan. Like it, hate it, it is what it is. This is when it came out. And these early examples just say patent pending on the blade hub. The newer ones have the patent number on the blade hub. And this one also has more bigger grill slots. It is a brace blade fan. It's a 3-speed model. So this was based off the Lakewood 200i. But believe it or not, they made a 223 variant. It's very rare. I've only seen a couple of them, and they surfaced on Facebook Marketplace. Most of them I've seen have been the 200i variants. Fun story is, my dad had one of these at his house when I was a kid, and I remember it pretty fondly because at the time it was sitting in my bedroom at his house, and you know, before this point, I was always told, oh, you can't plug in fans, it'll shock you, blah blah blah. So I never plugged in any fans, and this fan right here, well, not this exact fan, but one that was very similar to this, was the very first fan I ever plugged in and turned on all on my own. Because before that, it was kind of funny. My mom used to buy me like outlets and switches, and I would always plug my fans into those and pretend like they were working. But at my dad's house, I was, you know, a curious kid, I guess, and I finally plugged in a fan and turned it on, and this was the fan, or at least one like this. So yeah, now since this is an earlier one, it has a Macmillan motor from '97, November '97, draws 2.1 amps. This fan's in really nice shape. This is a pretty nice example of one of these. I put this here because the grill would vibrate on the motor braces, and it was really annoying. But yeah, this is a pretty big childhood fan. I'm actually glad to have one. And I mean, they're kind of uncommon now. I mean, they were pretty common at one point, but nowadays they're kind of fizzling out. You don't see too many of these early brace blade fans. And we're on the amp meter here. We'll start this up on high. I mean, for what this is, it's not a bad fan. It moves pretty good air. These earlier brace blade fans were actually pretty decent. Drawing 1.96 amps, 183 watts. Medium. Now, what's funny is Lakewood at this point was kind of doing a transition into the PSC motors. But what you'll find interesting, which is why I got the other one out, is they kind of went back to Macmillans at some point. But it was weird. They were making some with you know, PSC Lakewood motors. I'll explain it with the other fan, but this one runs pretty good. It's drawing 1 amp and 93 watts. Go to low. This is probably one of the quietest Lakewood Brace Blade fans you'll ever see. Has a bit of a motor hum to it. And it's drawing 0.61 amps and 56 watts. So yeah. Back to high. And off. Then we'll go to the other one. It's got a decent coast down. I mean, these brace blades aren't exactly that heavy. But yeah, let's go to the other one. Okay, this is the more oddball of the two. This is the early 2000s equivalent to the other fan. This one here was made in 2000 to be exact. Right about the time when Lakewood was starting to do the boombox cord thing. I have reason to believe this is a transition model between, you know, the regular PSC motors with the cords coming out the bottom like that and the boombox cord era. This is a bit of an oddball though, because I mean, unlike most of these, it has a Macmillan motor. And it's a very oddball Macmillan motor. It's screwed together. There's a date code of September of 2000. But yeah, it's that. I believe Holmes used the same exact Macmillan before. But basically, instead of it, bolting here and here, it's screwed together at the top and the bottom. It's kind of weird. But yeah, other than that, it's an average Lakewood brace blader with some rust on the top that I don't remember being there. It's a 3-speed. Looks identical to the later ones with the boombox cords. Even says Lakewood on the front. Now, I always thought this was interesting because they did add these extra lines in the grill, but in the middle they did not put that. They just left these 3 slats open. It is a brace blade fan. But anyway, we'll start it up on high. This one moves pretty good air too. It seems to run a bit smoother. It's drawing 2.1 amps at the moment. It'll probably go down. 194 watts. I don't remember what this motor is actually rated for, but we'll look after I'm done testing. Go to medium. I believe around 2001 is when they were switching to the boombox cords. But during that time, they were transitioning away from, you know, oh, put the cord through the motor brace and all that stuff. Which was a better design, but for some reason Lakewood had to cheap out and they were moving towards the boombox cord design. This was a pretty good design right here. Even with the PSC motors, it wasn't a bad fan. Drawing 1.04 amps and 95.4 watts. Lakewood was trying to hold out on their quality as long as they could, but ultimately they ended up just shutting down because they were getting regulated to a point where they couldn't make a decent fan anymore. It's low. It's just as quiet as the other one. And it's drawing 0.66 amps and 59.6 watts. Let's see if it's warmed up to a point. High. Still drawing 2.15 amps. Off. But yeah. A tale of two Brace Blade fans. And yes, both of these fans have the boxes still because I have the boxes for them. But I figured we'd take a look into them. What's the rating on the motor? I can't read it. I can't see it. Maybe you guys can. I kind of doubt it. Yeah, I don't know. If I had to guess, it's probably a 2.1 amp motor, like the other one. But yeah, there's a tale of two interesting brace bladed Lakewoods. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.